further up the report under miscellaneous, the 5,000 account, so I was aware that's the amount that we have reserved over previous years as excess earnings on our investments when they did occur. We still have, after paying 3 months bills for the 2008-2009 fiscal year, just a little over $9 million for paying health insurance costs in the future. And that's an important line to keep an eye on. The rest are just normal occurrences. We have rental income down a little further. I'm renting the 2/3 of the building to the state Office of Rehabilitation. We had gain on equities. That is a little unusual. We've been getting checks that are the result of lawsuits that other entities have brought against various other entities, and periodically we will get a check that's a settlement of a lawsuit. We're part of a class action lawsuit, and we don't receive them often, but it is part of their income. And then just going further down, the normal expenses and so on of the administration of the retirement.
Actually turning to your next sheet that says a comparison of cost and market values from Minnesota County Retirement Association at the top. If you look under column B, market value, and go down to just before the realized gain on sale of investments, you'll see a market value for the month ending November, and this is preliminary financial statements, but a market value of $234,008,523. That represents a monthly change. If you look over at column F, a monthly change of $13,058,250 to the negative. If you compare that to column E, the prior month, there was a 39 million plus loss. So although the market, we continue to incur market losses, certainly much less than what we saw in October. The one thing that I would note as well on the $13 million loss for November preliminary is that given the way we receive information on our bond investments, some of it just coming in within the last week or so, and it's one of the reasons why we update this information the following month. If you look, if you see on the prior month gain or loss, there's approximately a $7.7 million loss in the bonds. That's carried forward, including the $13 million.
Correct. So that's no change.
Yeah, so that that number likely will change. We would hope that it would be less, given that the losses in November were less in October. But we'll actually have to see the bond activity to determine what that change will be. But it will change for the month of November. Again, moving through your financials. The next report is just the monthly fund balances, and of the market value losses that we incurred in November. Probably the most significant to report out on is if you look under the real estate.
Which one are you on right now?
I'm sorry, this is the monthly fund balances. A monthly change of almost $2 million loss on the real estate. And then the final page that shows our asset allocation. Again, for your information, you can see that in a number of our, if you look at actually the very top, and this is again, sheet should say comparison of retirement system money managers market value of investments at the top, November 30, 2008. If you look at allocation to fixed income to Bradford, Marzac, and Dodge and Cox. We're at almost 40% of the portfolio with a target of 27.8. So we're over invested in a particular area. Much of that has to do with the fact that the losses in equities have been more significant than the losses in that we've experienced in the fixed income to date. If as the market begins to turn around, we would anticipate that some of the balancing of the asset allocation would occur naturally with market increases in equities. But again, sometimes as the market begins to stabilize, we want to look at this, look and determine to what degree our asset allocation is in balance or out of balance outside of those ranges that have been set for the investment policy, and determine whether or not we would want to reallocate it to funds.
Just to follow up on that, we are looking, we'll be having a presentation from a different bond manager that we've been talking about, and that would be a perfect time for us to reallocate our asset allocation when that occurs. So before we get off of investments, I did just in response to a public comment last month, want to correct something in case any of you are concerned about something that you heard during public comment. A comment was made that I think the presenter, and I don't want to put words in their mouth, but they, I believe, said we're concerned that during Peter Chan's presentation in October, Peter indicated that Dodge and Cox were investing in credit default swaps. And
what?
Credit default swaps.
Oh, okay.
So, having listened rather carefully, I thought, to Peter Chan's report, and not hearing that, I followed up and asked him if he in fact said that, and he did not. And then I contacted Bob. In fact, Jim and I had a conversation at the same time with Bob Thompson, and we asked him if they invested in credit default swaps, and he said they never have, never will, and are not now. So just to clarify, if you were concerned about that, it's not occurring. I don't know if you know what they are. They're kind of an insurance that you buy when you buy bonds. And Bob went over it a little bit, but it was very clear that they are not investing in those.
Jim, can I ask a couple of questions? Sure. Just going back to the initial document that we talked about on the financials, the one that Tim was commenting on, regarding the 5,000 account, the retiree health insurance of $9 million. So that is the set aside and reserve for retiree health, and that, theoretically speaking, is the amount of money that hopefully will get us to June 30th of 2010. Is that correct?
Yeah. And actually, to be just to clarify something, there seems to be a problem in the posting here, because I'm noticing that we have a negative amount in the 6,000 account that should be offset against that 9 million. So we're down to 8.6, somewhere in that area. But yes, that is the money. Every month, that 9 million will decrease, and it's about that by that $330,000 every month. And actually, I should clarify that a little bit. That amount, the $330,000, will increase in January, because we will increase the amount we're reserving for every retiree from $510 a month to $594 a month, something around that month. And that, I don't know, is it $60,000 change, somewhere in that area?
So they'll be somewhat offset by the increased contributions by
yes,
the 365
retirees.
right, and the dependents.
No, the dependents goes into right into paying for their costs. Their dependent coverage does not come out of that.